right, here we are. Here we are. Technical difficulties, but I'm here. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to the entrepreneurs, the stay-at-home moms and pops, the retirees. Shout out to the drivers, every single driver, Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, all these drivers. Shout out to the brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Please continue to go over to Troy's channel and support him. Somebody said SouFLo, I'm go over Troy channel, I almost never come back. So thank you for pointing me to that channel. All right, big up yourself. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. That's what I talk about. All right, so this morning we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about social media blackout that happened yesterday. We're going to talk about JAH this morning, update with a picture of the individual that he did stab, confirmed. We're going to talk about, and we're going to give two people their flowers this morning. Two people I think that deserve their flowers. You know how food culture go already. You got to like endure. And after you endure and you've made it, then you get your flowers. It's not that easy road, right? So we're going to talk about all those things this morning. But let me first big up a couple of people who came in bright and early and sat here through the technical difficulties until we were able to start. That's loyalty, manners, and respect for that. So JJ, big up, bro, and thank you. Shout out Lashana Alexander, Cynthia Gooding, Chessa K. Hutchinson, Darlene Walter Riley. I hope all is well, Darlene. I hadn't seen you in a few days, but I've been missing myself. Arlene Kid 876, Andrea Shivers says, good morning, everyone. Nicole Bazaar, good morning. Thank you for being here. Sandra Clark, Kimberly Marshall, Lion Tribe, All Things Tony and Fedtrice Morgan and Marie B. Roderick Shaw, Wanda Chilsom. Every time I get to that name, I just mess it up. Wanda Chisholm, Michelle Williams. And Michelle says, good morning, SouFLo and everyone. And everybody else named who I did not call. Big up yourself and thank you for being here. Jason M. says, up, up, up. With a nice donation this morning. Manners and respect, Jason. This thing to run off, I just mouth water. But, you know, we take what we can get and we appreciate it greatly. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Genuinely. All right. Now we're going to talk about some people this morning. First, let's run through this. I'm going to start off with the blackout yesterday, just to warm things up. So yesterday, I picked up my phone and went to Instagram, because I promote on Instagram and there was no Instagram. I kept sliding and it kept saying can't refresh the feed after an hour, 2 hours, all this. I'm like, Instagram is something wrong with Instagram. So, but my phone itself is working. So I text wifey because she wasn't home. I said, babe, actually I was on the road. She was home. I said, babe, how come my Instagram not working either? She said, I don't know. Mine's not working either. Then we go check WhatsApp. WhatsApp down. Then I went and checked Facebook. Come and say, we live in 2021. We have choices. So Instagram, you're not getting your thing together. I'm moving on. So I went to Facebook. Facebook down. I'm like, what is going on? Are they coming for us? Because social media on multiple platforms crashed yesterday and the world stood still. All right. One person said to me, SouFLo, you know what, that they were running a test. And what that shows us is we are very much dependent on the grid. We ain't already figured off grid yet. We're very much dependent on the grid. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. Darlene Walter Riley says she was too. We are very much dependent on the grid. So what this told me yesterday, as someone who's done this whole military thing, what this told me yesterday is this: it's easy to round us up, and it's easy to cut our communication between each other. We better find our next way. We better find. That's how I saw it. I know a lot of people are probably just saying, oh, it's back up again and right back to their normal means of communication. Because yesterday, all the people who I reached out to only through IG, I couldn't reach them and they couldn't reach me. All the people who I reach out to only through WhatsApp, they couldn't reach me and I couldn't reach them. All the people who I reach out to only through Facebook, they couldn't reach me and I couldn't reach them. We were cut off. And it might have been momentarily. It lasted for about 5 hours, I believe. But them 5 hours felt like 5 days. Take the bitter with the sweet. All right. They were running a test. Shakira Sphere is here, which is wifey, and she said he has to answer to Supreme Court today. Who y'all talk about, babe? Mark, I be going to court today. Mark, I going to court today, and he scrubbed evidence for the riot of the building. There's a whole conversation going on that I'm not seeing. Hate when that happens. Right in the comment section. YouTube was still up, Pauline Williams. Yes, YouTube was still up and running, but we have seen where YouTube crashed as well for like almost a day, and everybody was in panic. But the first thing that came to my mind was some paranoid thought. I started looking around. I'm looking to see if helicopters are going to start landing, if movements are going to start taking place, strange people on my street, and all these things, because you never know. You never know. We live in a weird world and we're living in weird times. That was weird to have multiple social media outlets, all the big ones, all shut down on the same day at the same time. That can't be coincidental. There is more to that than that just happened. But I'm saying, what I saw from that is we're not ready to go off grid. We are very much dependent on the grid. Notorious Ram, Wagwan, or Notorious Rari. Notorious Rari, big up and thank you for that. Notorious Rari say, yo, my dog, where I deal with up move. There in a party. There in the early morning, you know, vibing with the family. See? Which is the SouFLoTV family, the Morning Thoughts family. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg has to answer to the Supreme Court. They said Mark Zuckerberg lost like $7 billion just yesterday alone. You know what I think about stuff like that when I see reports like that? Look at all these poor people in the comments in the comment section commenting on rich people business. Now this man ain't have money. He's rich. That's rich. They speak in billions. And some of us checking accounts are in the minuses. That's like a conversation that I don't even belong in. You know what I'm saying? That's like they're talking, oh, I lost $7 billion in 5 hours. You had $7 billion to lose. And for the amount of time that he's been making all this money, he's surely not hurting, Cynthia. He is surely not hurting. For the amount of time that he has been making these billions, I am pretty sure he has teams of investors that have diversified his portfolio, so he owns a whole lot of other stuff outside of that. So $7 billion to him is a dent. That didn't really hurt. You know what I mean? So I'm not even not take part enough of them conversation about lose 7 billion. All I want is 7 billion. I just want like 1 solid million. That's it. 1 solid million. Tax free, nothing on it. Just to be able to open a bank account and look there and in my checking. I talk about savings different. In my checking. You know, just to be able to open it and look there and see that. So that tells me I'm not up to par with these people. Them I run the thing. They are the ones running the thing. All right? Stick to the script. Realize that they did a test yesterday. That's how I feel. I think they did a test. And they saw what I saw. These people ain't ready. They are very dependent on this. They need us. I see people all the time tell all their business on social media, on these platforms, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, spread out their whole life story and everything, and then wonder how so much of their business is out there, and how the all-seeing eye and Big Brother knows everything about you. Like, oh, they're watching us from space through satellites. They have cameras that can see through the walls of your house and all this stuff. Nah, might be true, but maybe it's even more true that you post your every move. Your phone is a GPS device, and you have your location turned on. You ever go to the store yet? I went to Walmart. The first time I realized this, I actually went to Walmart, and as I was leaving Walmart, it pops up on my screen, and it says, "How was Walmart on 143rd and 16th? Rate your experience." And I'm like, "What?" Felt very freakish. And then I went to another store. Listen, I went to another store. I turned off my location. I went to another store, not thinking about it, and it popped up again. How was something something strip mall at, and it gave the address. Rate your experience. And I'm like, this thing is following me even when I have the location turned off. You know, and you sit there and you type your whole business. My cousin is so and so. Yep, they linked you to that person already. Hey, Uncle John, how you did? Yep, they linked you to him already. Today is my brother's birthday. Everybody help me wish my brother a happy birthday. Boom, they linked you to that person already. That's the brother. That's the net. That's the net. If they were ever to go looking for you because you did anything, may I give you some knowledge this morning. If they were ever to go looking for you because you did anything, they would just go to your net. They know already. People who have their family groups and all this, them know where your mother is, they know where your daddy is, they know where your sister and your brothers are, they know when it's their birthday, they're all in their business and your business. I'm gonna post up everything anyway, right? Hi, how you doing? All that. So we're in the net. We're in the net and we're very much on the grid. All right. Anybody who is not on the grid is not here this morning. Everybody who's here this morning is in the net. You ever look for one net? Look at the spider net, web. This is the web, right? We're on the web, the internet. What Capleton did say a long time ago, them get caught in the internet, yo. But no for them not ready yet. Oh, Rosalie Smith, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much. I keep telling people stop using these platforms as their personal diary. That is what Sandra Clark is saying. But watching how everything went down yesterday, it was kind of freakish. It was. Because come on now, we're in modern days technology. There's no way that all these should have went down at the same time. They in cahoots. They are in cahoots. And it was plain to see yesterday. See it. You know, we laugh sometimes, you know, at serious things. But we laugh because half of the time we can't do nothing about it. Where am I going to go live? Am I going to go raise my kids in a cave somewhere and lock them off from all technology and the development of the world as it moves forward and all that? No, I'm not. I'm going to be right here in the mix to see it all go down and be suffering with everybody else that's suffering too and all that stuff. So see that. Shyster 30. Big up yourself. Manners and respect, Shyster. And I appreciate that. Shyster said, bless up family and continue giving the people the real. That's all I can be, my brother. That's all I can be. The Brax says, the truth is the truth. I was not even aware of it until after the fact. Probably because you don't tune in like that. I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday, though. And I know my wife probably here, so she's going to dispute this. We're not tell her what business or nothing. But at the fastest me ever get a return upon a text. The fastest. Hi, babe. Boom, right back. Hi, babe. I said, damn, she texting. She replying back fast today. You all right? Yes, I'm all right. You okay? Whoa, she's engaging me today. Like, yo, listen up. Half of the time when you text somebody, and I hate that. I'm that kind of person. I hate when I text someone and I know you're someone that always has your phone, and I text you and it takes you forever to text me back. And then when you text me back on some nonchalant text, or when they reply with an emoji, like a thumbs up or something like that, you know? But yesterday, people were getting featured who didn't get featured before. For instance, on my IG, it was locked down for how many hours, and the same people was stuck on my IG, on my screen, no matter how many I tried, unable to refresh, unable to refresh. So these are people who I normally scroll by, just like how they probably scroll by me. I normally scroll by them. I don't know how they got there. I'm not following them, or maybe I am. Some people I just hit follow because them hit follow first, and them say, SouFLo, I've been following you for a while. Big up on the channel. Some just hit follow to out of courtesy. Don't mean I'm keeping up with their life. Because half of them posts, but they'll scroll right past it. Just like how they scroll right past mine. But yesterday, they were stuck on your screen. Every time I open the screen, is the same 5 people I saw. Yes, so 5 only get featured yesterday. I had no choice but to pay attention to you, right? What me tell us a wife you come in? She said lies, 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 and lies. You always leave then text me asking foolishness. Babe, I leave then text you. That's me trying to stay in touch. Don't you know that even like as soon as I go outside, I start missing you. I start missing you. As soon as I drive down the street, I start missing you. So I got a text, you know what I mean, to let you know that I'm feeling how I'm feeling. And sometimes, you know, I'm not an emotional kind of guy, so I kind of like ask dumb questions like, we need milk? Check the fridge and see anything that we need, because I go to the store right now, so I could pick up anything that we need, right? Them kind of something that, you know, so let's take it for what it is. But I was getting my text answered fast yesterday. And by the way, whether I'm texting you for foolishness or not, your wifey, that's no say, yeah, I saw the thing go. Here he go texting me about foolishness again, but you still replied. You still not sure? All right. So here what? Let's talk about yeah, that social media, something that was y'all not paying attention. Me see it though. They working together. Anyhow, let's talk about this. 2 people I want to give their flowers today. And I want to start off with, of course, you know, there's a large portion of my audience that actually likes Vybz Kartel. There's a large portion of my audience that don't like him. But I found out that that's the portion that's kind of like Acid Diddy, kind of cut off from other generation kind of thing. I don't ever want to be one of those people that as you age, you disconnect yourself from the generation before, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the young people that I talk about today, bare foolishness that I deal with, and you cut. I want to be able to build a bridge so we can communicate. This is how we lose stuff, because if I separate myself from, say, my grandmother's generation, rest in peace, I'll lose all that teaching and all that valuable stuff that was passed down orally, our history, you know, knowledge on medicines, things for drink and go boil up and use and the this and that. But when you disconnect, there's so much that's lost in it. So every time I talk about cartel, I have some people that's like, SouFLo, you know, I respect you as a person because I've been following you for a while and you speak intelligently to a degree. And then, you know, Jamaican people, you know, so when they are going to disrespect you, you always hear no disrespect still, you know, but you're coming like a big idiot when it comes to you're coming like no disrespect still, you know. I think you're an intelligent person, all this, no disrespect still, you know, but you're coming like a big idiot girl when it comes to cartel, or you're coming like a big idiot. I'm like, wow. So for most of the time, somebody intelligent until I speak about somebody you don't like. Whether you like him or not, I feel business that. Somebody asked me why. Like, why do you? He's a convicted murderer and all this other stuff. I say, you don't believe in a justice system then? Because check it. For you to believe in a justice system, you have to believe not only that they can prosecute and convict people who are indeed guilty of things they've done, but you also have to believe and respect the part where those who have been wrongfully convicted and maintain their innocence are given the opportunity to prove it, and then are at one point someday eventually freed. I always tell people, go and watch the Innocence Project. It's case after case after case after case of evidence piled against people that made it look real as ever before a judge, before a jury, before prosecution, that they were guilty, hands down, until more technology developed, until other things came to light. And then these people are walking out of prison 10, 15, 20 years later after they had served all that time for something they did not do. You know, you have the court of public opinions, and then you have the judicial system court. So with respect to all that, I follow this man because of his entrepreneurship. I always talk about generational wealth. I always tell y'all, make a lot, save a lot, spend a little, you know, ball on a budget for a while, and all these things, and pass it forward. So many of us are left with nothing. We all had to, majority of us had to come start from scratch. Majority of us had to come start from scratch. When you turn 18, did anybody hand you anything? Did anybody give you anything to forward you in life? Like, here is your package. This is what I've been saving for you, son. This is what I've been saving for you, daughter. This is what I've been working on. Because from the day you were born, this was my goal, to make sure that when it was time for you to step out into the world, you had a solid footing. Anybody did that for you? And I'm not saying my mom and my dad aren't the best people in the world. I'm just saying they failed when it came to that. And I can honestly say that. And so can a lot of you out there. So bar the whole, oh, I'm thinking my killer I need to go to prison or all this. Let's talk about his accomplishments. You understand? There's two people in him. One is Vybz Kartel. I was in Jamaica at the time when this one posted, so I couldn't really get into it, but I sure kept it in my mind. I wanted to share this and discuss with the audience. So he left a message, right? And let's go with big up to Urban Islands. Urban Islands, Dancehall Mag, them two I follow and deal with. And I don't just like grab people's stuff and don't say where I get it from. So big up to Urban Islands and shout out to Dancehall Mag. You can go check out them two as well. Vybz Kartel focuses on generational wealth for his children. 10 years into a life sentence. Now, of course, it always tickles me when I see people are like, oh, he has all that behind bars, all that should be taken away from him. The opportunity to make any money should be taken away from him and all this. And I always wonder, like, why are you so pressed and so worried? You didn't know no lizard. When I talk about a 75-year-old woman that they slit her throat and raped her, you don't have nothing to say. Yeah? And that keeps happening over and over and over. When I tell you to sign this petition or log into this site or forward this to the appropriate people who it would matter if a bunch of us forwarded the same thing to them, you don't even do that. But you over here are talking about, oh, it needs to be locked up. And yes, SouFLo, I bet if Lizard was your brother, you would, you know, them getting at them feelings. Then you start talking about how good he is doing despite the obstacles, despite being hit with a life sentence, still thriving. That takes mental power. Enough man get hit with a life sentence and them just do that themselves. And then from there, so they lose their mind. And they have to be medicated almost all the time. Behind prison walls, there's a whole medication industry thing going behind it. They have pill call. And everybody got it for something, because it's not everybody can take a lock up and a lock in. You start to break down, you start to have anxieties, you start to shake like this for real, out open. I've seen all different kinds of behaviors that goes along with it. So for him to be in that position and still be able to focus and produce as much as he has been able to produce. Vybz Kartel is a proud father, and now he's also a grandfather with his sights set on generational wealth for his children and his grandchildren. Despite the fact that he has been incarcerated for a decade, the patriarch is devoted to diversifying the financial portfolio of the family. Many people in his position would be too burdened by their circumstances to solemnly ruminate on this important part of their legacy. But for Vybz Kartel, it is a priority. Too often we see athletes, artists, and others squander their wealth on short-lived indulgences and neglect to make way for the generations that they have spawned. YOLO, you only live once. Spend it all. You can't take it with you. And guess what? You outlive that. You broke, you're picking them broke. You're picking them creating broke picnic. And everybody just broke. You just passing around generations of poverty, generations of struggling. Nobody is creating a platform for anybody else to come next and spring forward off of. It's always steps to climb up, steps to climb up, walls to get over. We have to dig to get over and under. See? All right. This post he put up while I was in Jamaica. Just buy a bigger house for my parents on the hill since month. That's September. Transfer 2 properties in my son's name for him 18th birthday. And buy him 8.9 acres of land to celebrate the birth of his son this month as well. My grandson. My daughter, she gets shy and said, Daddy, please take out my part till the results come. I'm so proud of her because she just turned 14. So there was a part also to it where he posted, but he took it back out about his daughter because she just sat her exams and she is majoring in mathematics and biology. And she has said, Daddy, take out my part till the the results come in and stuff like that. But she's only 14 years old. So a man that's been in prison for 10 years, right? Shout out to Shorty, which is his wife. A man that's been in prison for 10 years is able to do all this. I think that, if anything, should motivate you. But it don't. It beats some people the wrong way because the jealousy part of your mind is working way harder than the other part of your mind that says, hey, if he can do it, I definitely can do it. Instead of that, you prefer to sit there and say, here, Timothy, can't stand him. Why am I get all them privileges behind jail? Take away all of that. The laws are the laws, and he's operating within the laws. Some countries have different laws than other countries. Some countries you're not allowed or able to do anything. Other countries you can run enterprises from behind prison walls. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. It's nothing illegal he's doing. He's perfect. He's working within the law. So there's nothing more for you to hate. Oh, now you want to change the law to appease you instead of you going out and getting you some. I always ask people this when they hate on people like Vybz Kartel. I always ask them, I said, how old are your children? Do you have any? How old are they? Right. All right. 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, okay. 20 something. All right. I hear the ages and everything. What have you constructed for them so that as adults, when it's time for them to step out into the world, they have a springboard to spring forward off of? Are you leaving anything behind for them? Are you even able to help them now as they are going out into the world? Have you created any the beginnings of or established any kind of generational wealth? You know what I mean? No, none of that. But they are still go and work. Okay, well, you can't hate on somebody like this. If anything, it should be an example. Yeah, but him corrupt the youth them mind and tell them to kill off each other and everything. And I say, wow. So play me the song where he actually said that. You know what? None of them can play me that song there. None of them can play me any song where he has ever told you to disrespect your heritage. Where he has ever, oh, you're concerned that he put bleach on his skin. I know your skin. Your wife put on makeup, long eyelashes, falls hair, injection in her body, new breast done, all these things. So what you talk about? Yeah? Focus on the good. Focus on the good. And that's where I take my example from. It's the good. Because remember, I'm telling you, my granny said, talk to everybody because everybody can teach you something, baby. That's why I'm like, I don't shut people out when they speak. And I don't cast too much judgment either. I might say a little piece, but I also make sure it ends constructively. You see me? So we're not in the business of tearing people down. And you know, there's a lot going on with Kartel right now. But when they ask why you hate him, them can't say anything other than the regurgitated. I want proof. Because as long as I've known this guy, he was of course him give woman liberation. We're talking about Jamaica where women were afraid for the longest to say they enjoy oral sex. The men still are afraid to say they do it with their queen or them woman, them wife, whatever. So now the women are liberated and them talk about oh them what it struck fear when the woman is no longer in an inferior position. When she was able to look at the man and say, I don't like it like this. Let me turn that way. You know, for some man it was like, oh, what you mean me not do it right? Ain't me not like that girl, you know. A girl come take over the thing and like them must be in power all the time, and we know that that's not how it goes, because if she not enjoy it, then there's no enjoyment there. The only way she's going to be able to enjoy it is if you're man enough to reduce your ego and allow her to guide you through. So he liberated the women. See, I want him to liberate the woman them now. He started talking to the girls, young girls. And he's like, this is a big people business. You stay in a school, study your book, and these kind of things. I mean, I don't know how people don't bring these things forward. Yeah? Petty thief, pickpocket, rob people who are robbing hardworking people. Them people that for dead, them kind of something that is what he's used to saying, is what I've always heard him say. And anything we have to do with killing has always been about self-defense and protection of your family and your own life, which is the same thing I preach every day, just in a different way. I don't say it with a bag of expletives behind it, or I don't say it on a dancehall rhythm, but are the same thing. So one of the biggest scapegoats out of our time is Kartel. But the things he's accomplishing, I just hope that his haters can actually quiet down that hateful part of their brain and actually start to look at what they can emulate from him. You don't have to go bleach your skin. You don't have to laugh. you don't have to say Michael Cake Soap Jackson. You don't have to do any of that. But you can start a business like he did. And it's even easier now more than ever before to actually start your own business, because you really don't even need a storefront. People are opening businesses online, selling stuff, being the salesperson instead of a consumer, bringing money in, or just offline. Just offline. People have their stores that are doing very well, right? Take all the positive sides from him because he is successful. Correct. But the thing for us is, if a white man do it, we're like, yes, it's one of the best things since sliced bread. And yeah, man, him go to prison. Everybody got prison. It's all right. But we like the part where, but when one of our own show us how to go from like barefoot pushcart, get to picnic, all the way to the top of the hill, and he's showing you that it's not just one way to do it. Like they had us believing for the longest that you must come out of school and be a lawyer. You must come out of school and be a doctor. You must come out of school with you and go on to get a degree and whatever. The problem is where we come from, enough parents can't even afford the whole university thing and all this thing. So where do they end? You see what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship. He didn't do it only through music. He had other business ventures as well. He ventured into clothing, shoes and clothes. He ventured into liquor lines, Vybz Rum and Street Vybz Rum. He ventured into so many different things. And then you have to deal with managing other artists as well. Established his own record label, own all his rights to all his creation. Enough of them artists here don't own nothing when you see them put out. I do promo for some of them, and as soon as I put the little snippet of the video up, I get a copyright infringement. I contact the artist. Brother, you know, say, I get a copyright infringement from YouTube as soon as I posted that little clip of your thing. What? Really? Copyright for who? I me own it. I said, no, is Zojak own it? No, is Sony own it? No, is they don't even know the business side of the music. So for him to even create a successful record company, which by the way, he also just pretty much passed it on to his oldest son, has now become the head of that successful record company. And this record company has put out many records that are pretty much all successful. So handing over things to your children like, hey, sit the batanya, run with it. I took it this far. Let's see how far you can take it now. Here is what will happen 10 years or so from now. You'll see a documentary from somewhere exposing why teacher had to be put away. I firmly believe so. And I also think movie will be done as well. Let's not talk about his book, Voice of the Jamaican Ghetto. Admitted into Princeton University as part of their curriculum. Why people don't talk about that? You understand? So his greatness cannot be stopped, pretty much. And when you see one of these, you have to admire that. You have to admire that. Can't kill me strength. See? Just buy a bigger house from parents than on the hill. Who don't want to be able to do that? Mommy, stop work. Yeah, I work too hard my whole life. Yeah? Daddy, come, stop work. And one thing I also liked about Vybz Kartel, he's never been one of them artists that call most of the artists, them, especially black artists, their background stories. Yeah, my dad wasn't there and I was raised by my mom in a single mom home. And, you know, they keep that narrative going like black dads don't exist that take care of their kids. And read into the narrative like other races take care of their kids, but we don't. When the truth is, in all other races, you have deadbeat daddy as well, in great proportions, that ain't taking care of their kids either. But you would have them believe that. So Kartel always, yes, I come from a two-parent family. Yeah, man, my father never play, man. Hard-working man. This is who I get my work ethic from. This is who me I am clash enough time, you know, because I wanted to, you know, do away with the school thing and go follow the dancehall thing because I knew from a young age that music was where my calling was. You can't argue with him. You can argue with him. His net worth right now is at 5-point-something million US dollars. Some say 3.5 to 5 mil. Some say 5 to 6.5. Some say 5 to something. Indesa averaging $5 million. Okay, it's not 20 million. It's not 50 million. But you still give respect. Like, for instance, Lil Baby, the rapper that's so hot and gets $100 and something thousand per show, his net worth is the same, $5 million. But we worship people like that, though. Oh, his girlfriend went to Jamaica recently and got caught with guns, her and her friend that was there. And all that happened was they got fined and they were allowed to fly out of the country. That person is who I'm talking about, right? Off of $5 million. And we look at them like, oh, it's $500 million. But then when our own get 5 million, we're like, I got money that, a little bit of money that. The people that normally say that don't have $5. A little bit of money that. You know them people that where you buy a car and it's a luxury car and they're like, Chuck, you hype over all car. It's a Benz, but it's not a 2021 Benz. I don't know nothing that. You buy a house. Lord, look on the garage, how it literally look like one cave in there. And that you know I call a house. Some people used to laugh at me and my wifey talk about our kitchen. Me wouldn't eat out of that the kitchen if you pay me. Look on the kitchen. What kind of little crunch up kitchen that? And they used to laugh at the garage space and all this other stuff. So, you know, we see this. It's us fighting us. But big up to Kartel for all this. The post may have surprised naysayers who used the most recently surfaced photos of the DJ in prison to speculate about his health in a previous interview with the Fox 5 News, his first exclusive since his incarceration. And I don't know if you saw that, but I covered that where he spoke about his health since he's been locked up and his mental space since he's been locked up, and you know his perseverance, his work ethic still, and all that. Where he said, "Me stronger than ever, mentally and physically." After them did things, I got mash up because that was the plan. The plan was to lock him up, and he was going to fall apart behind bars. And what happens is, you know the saying, diamonds are created under pressure, right? It takes a lot of pressure to create a diamond. All right. So sometimes you lock somebody up and you think that's it. He's gonna die behind bars. Just die from just loneliness. Just die from just the conditions behind there, because that's not what he's used to. These kind of things. And he's letting you know that, hey, I'm better than ever before, stronger than ever before. He had a health scare behind bars and all these things because he does suffer from a thyroid issue, right? This causes his eyes to bulge sometimes when things are not put in check and all this other stuff. So serious physical health issues as well. Battling that, the life sentence, all this other stuff, maintaining your innocence, fighting. They said there's no way he can fight for that long. What they didn't know was this kid wasn't your average DJ. He wasn't your average ghetto youth who was making enough money off a stage show and records and don't own any rights to his own stuff and spend out all that money on champagne and girls and red bottoms and Louis Vuitton and all them things. That he wasn't doing that. The man was literally building an empire the whole time he was fooling everybody else. See? No way he can sustain that. All these high-powered lawyers for a whole decade trying to bring forth your own freedom and your point that, listen, I'm not pleading guilty to something I didn't do. I didn't do it. And you're not going to stick this murderer thing upon me. Well, since you don't want to plead guilty, we give you the longest sentence ever. Because, you know, I've done a lot of shows where there are a lot of people who've committed gruesome murders. Let's look at Beachy Stout. In Beachy Stout case, for instance, 9 years after Kartel been in prison, in Beachy Stout case, the brother confessed how he was paid to do the killing, but he couldn't do it because the girl was a good friend of his, right? So he subcontracted and hired somebody else to do it and sat in the car with him and oversaw while he did it. Now, you can't go in a court and say, we grabbed her around the headrest because she was driving. We make she drive. We judge. We grab her around the headrest and grab her around the headrest like this, held her head to the headrest, stab up her upper body first, and then cut her throat. How you get 19 years for that? And a man like Kartel, nobody found. The house that supposedly someone was bludgeoned in with a pickaxe and then dismembered, you would think blood would be everywhere. Or at least blood evidence would be somewhere. So the day he was found guilty, he said, it's okay because we're appealing this all the way to England. And they demolished the house, bust it up into rubbles and little stones and took it away. So even if he was to say, in my defense, I want an independent forensic team to come in here because they claim, the prosecution claimed that this happened in here, come in here and find proof or whatever. There was none found. And they didn't leave the house long enough for any independent forensic team to come in and say, we found nothing, or haha, we found blood, right? They blasted this dude in all kinds of ways, man. And he kept fighting and he kept fighting. And how you end up with 40 odd years before you're eligible for parole. And a man just described to you how they saw off a girl neck and tab up her chest because her husband paid them some money, and you get a man the 19 years for his confession. Ipong, Dift, or whatever your name is, I'm not trying to make him look like a saint. I'm speaking of one particular incident. I don't know this man. Me and him don't hang out. I'm speaking of one particular incident, but it's people like you that I'm talking about who are so focused on that you quick to listen. I'm talking about building generational wealth, and I'm talking about an example of someone who is focused on doing it even from these adverse conditions. If you go to prison right now, I don't even know who you are, and probably nobody on here knows who you are. So if you were supposed to get 10 years in prison right now, you would probably shit up yourself and sink further into the unknown. See? All you care about is money. All right. Take care of 6 kids without money and then come talk to me. Pay my bills without money and then come talk to me. But all you care about is money. I want me to care about you. All you know when people go, all you care about is money. Funny thing. 5 years ago, when I got on YouTube, I was telling my Jamaican audience because they kept saying, SouFlo, how is a way that I can make money? Because things not going to right for me. I'm gonna need a side hustle already online and everything. I don't know if some of y'all have been around long enough to remember me saying I can teach you this YouTube stuff and how to go about it, getting partnered with YouTube and Google and getting a check from that every month. That would be a start. Majority of those Jamaican people, oh, so money I do it for. Money, nah, don't block him. Make him stay there because he gives me more to talk about. And I know how to spin foolishness into sense. Money I do it for. Look at what happened a few years later. Pandemic hit. Everybody, even the entertainers who used to be like, yo, idiot vlogger boy, I don't want a boy review my music, and these kind of things. Them idiot vlogger, yeah, them always run off them mouth and everything. Don't you notice that they all became vloggers as well? Yeah, man. Yeah, because when I was telling you that was a business, you were cussing me, telling me about is money me care about. Some of the daddy didn't need to care about money because no mother struggled to rot it on her own with a boy. And that's why she was so frustrated most of the time because she had to pay for everything herself. She had to be daddy and mommy for and all these other things. My kids, them good. Them good. Yes, I'm about money because I have 6 of them to take care of. And I'm about generational wealth. So back to the topic. What may I talk about? See, the next person that I want to give their flowers. The next person I want to give their flowers is Spice. See, the queen of dancehall, Spice. And I want to give her flowers as well because remember, I know me say, Jesus Christ, I'm tired of the pum pum song them. Remember? I'm tired of the pum pum song them. She can do so much more. And right after I said that, she dropped the Black Hypocrisy stuff where she challenged and challenged the whole light skin, dark skin thing within our community, which is actually a huge issue in our community. People still walk around talking about, girl, our skin pretty and clean, you see, and him have nice hair. And all right. So for those who only see her as how much time she'll skin out the one pum pum, cause I be a skin out pum pum song she make and all that. I want you to understand something. See, she is very much also, and not only that, she credits Vybz Kartel for her start. So just like how Kartel credit Bounty Killer for his start, he passed that baton. He also created, oh, let's not talk about that part. He also made millionaires out of multiple ghetto youths after himself. See, colorism, DMAC, thank you. Colorism. So here's Spice. Now, despite growing up in poverty, her life in Portmore gave her, the headline for this is Jamaica dancehall queen Spice featured in Forbes magazine. All right. When you come from somewhere where push cart and barefoot and dirty streets and zinc fence and them kind of something there, you really be looking at yourself like you're dreaming. I have these dreams for myself. But as you get older, it's like, oh man, it's probably unattainable for somebody like me. See? Yeah, man. So despite growing up in poverty, her life in Portmore gave her many rich experiences with her parents and 5 brothers and sisters. Her entrepreneurial passion can be traced to watching her mother catch and sell fish at her cook shop or restaurant while sharing a bed with her siblings. This gave her motivation and ambition. Now, Hamilton is a serial entrepreneur and a musical artist ranked on Billboard's magazine's influential list. She has fulfilled a promise made to her young self that she would work hard and get herself out of poverty. Now, she is working to encourage women who come from similar circumstances to succeed regardless of their chosen profession. You know, a lot of people beat you when you're on your journey because they don't understand your journey. But it's okay. It's okay because your vision is not theirs. You can't expect me to see your vision. I might believe in you and support you as a friend, but there's no way I can see your vision. Your vision is your vision. My vision is my vision. That's why I say a lot of the times it's time to clean house kind of thing. So those friends you keep around you who you tell them, say, yo, me have a business idea, I'm gonna start up an online store selling wigs and makeup, right? I'm gonna design my own brand and go through the distributors I'm going all the way to China for it because that's where everything is made, blah blah blah, get the connect, this that, and your good friend, this the friend that's quick to, hey, your party tonight, and the friend is like, yeah man, me dead, what time we are leave, who for party we are go, all right, we buying bottles tonight, we shopping tomorrow at the mall, we doing this, we hanging out, we eating at so and so restaurant. They're there for all that. Once you pitch that business idea there and you hear, I don't think that's gonna work, X them out. X them out. Yeah. You can still be my friend, but we're probably not going to be hanging around that much anymore. Since I'm focused now on building me, since I'm focused now on getting ahead in life, since I'm focused now on starting on this thing I've been talking about so long, this generational wealth thing. So you always kill my dream them. Those are the people you have to look for in your circle. Yo, me I sing to tune and put out some music and thing, brand myself as an artist, blah blah. Brother, you can't sing a rotted. You can't sing. And then they listen to somebody that sings worse than how you sing and have the nerve to even promote those people on social media. Next hot song. See there? All over their stuff. Go support this artist. But they tell you that cut them out. You know what I'm saying? So in an interview with Lydia T. Blanco, Spice cites her mom as her inspiration and motivation for success. She said she watched her struggle to provide for her family, and she saw how she truly made something out of nothing. The fact that her family lost their house to a fire when she was in high school motivated her to move from homeless to now owning properties from Georgia, Atlanta to Jamaica. And she is the owner of multiple pieces of real estate. All right. I remember the first time I did a video on Spice and I said, big up Spice. D-Mac, thank you. And I love when you post that post right there. Be a king, be a queen. No excuses are allowed. Yes, right. That's up. I remember when I first covered that about Spice. Again, my same Jamaican people. That girl that can't own no house of foreign. SouFLo, me I tell you that. She can't own no house of foreign. How she own house of foreign and she barely have any papers for that? She don't go get passes for go up like work visa, go do shows and come back out. That's why she always travel back and forth. I always look at these people like, damn, you know all of this woman business, but for some reason she don't know you. You know, you know all of this person's business, but for some reason they don't know you. I'm just celebrating what the sister is accomplishing and hoping that others see it and they don't only follow the skin out me pum pum, or they actually see her means to an end. That's why if you go back and watch my videos where I talk about, yeah man, I'm tired of skin out the pum pum song them, want to hear some female come with some different perspective on music. But listen how I said it and go look. But who am I to tell her to stop selling these songs if she has an audience that buys these songs? It's about supply and demand. If I have a store, which I always say, if I have a store and all I'm selling in my store is pineapples and nobody no want pineapple, but everybody want oranges and pear, it would only make sense for me to have oranges and pears in my store. Otherwise, I'm going to have to close shop. Not true? So for the person earlier, we talk about, oh, you're all focused on money and money alone you care about. No, there's an art to this survival and this thriving stuff. And sometimes you have to move with the market, supply and demand. And that's what she was doing. And that's what she continues to do. She is heavily booked. She is one of the most traveled and hardworking people in our industry as far as dancehall reggae music goes. Caught her live before. She shut down the place as usual. You know, that kind of stuff. So you give kudos where kudos due. And you to be featured in Forbes magazine and on their most influential list. And to now say, yo, I went from being homeless to now I own multiple pieces of real estate in Jamaica, in the US, blah, blah, blah. That's big. That's big. And we're not talking about no little house where you can laugh after. Oh, they got like on the laugh after me. Watch the kitchen. It was that kitchen there if you pay me. Most of her haters got to look at the houses and be like, damn. I mean, I hope to one day own one of those. Well, she's excelled to multiple. And if there's one way you can be sure about your money, is real estate. Yes. So when you buy that big, nice car that costs you 80, 90,000 US dollars just to drive around flashy, you must understand, say, as soon as that thing move off, the minute you put the key in it and start it, it starts to depreciate in value. Real estate, you can buy a messed up house and you might not have the money now to fix up the house there and flip it, but you will eventually. So you can buy a house, you can turn the house into a rental property, you can fix up the house, you can have an extra stream of income coming in from over there, flip into a next house. I saw the thing going on. Omega Brown says, make them hate, make you greater. And that's how Vybz Kartel ended his thing. He said, shout out to my haters. He said, shout out to my supporters and shout out to my haters as well. Because the haters motivate him, right? The haters make him say, yo, okay, all right, I'm going to show you then. See? But he does it for himself. And at the end of it, he left When I Look at Where I'm Coming From, which is a Lila Ike song. When I look at where I'm coming from, looking back on where the journey began, all I got to say is I'm strong, I'm strong. All praises to the Most High One. That's that song there, big. So even that, him just tag Lila in it and say, when I look at where I'm coming from. And by the way, I did a pen and paper review on that song and nobody not pay no attention to it. So anyhow, but yeah, the motivation. And he understands his place. Like when him tag an artist, the artist stocks go up. Don't ask me, just look on it for true. Anytime him tag an artist, the artist stocks go up. They start trending at #1. They start selling like never before. They start getting booked out like never before. That's just how the thing's set. He is that powerful within the industry, even from behind walls. See? Me can't sing, but you get the point. Yes, KK. But anyhow, we're about positivity over here. All right, and upliftment over here. So I give these two, the Queen of Dancehall, who is truly the Queen of Dancehall. You know, them bringing in Shansia. Not that we don't need to fight each other. There's enough out here for everything. But it kills me when they bring in like these just arriving people, and they're like, yes, they're the new anything, or they're the big anything, over who has done the work and put in the time and everything like that. So big up to Spice. She is truly the queen of dancehall if she wasn't before. Because I remember people were like, Lady Saw is still the queen of dancehall. And Lady Saw is over there like, please don't call my name. Chat to me back. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm in church. Praising the Lord. Don't call my name in that circle again. I'm not into the dancehall thing anymore. I am Marion Hall now. Minister Marion Hall. Them still I try to put the crown on Lady Saw head. And Lady Saw feel like, stop it. I'm into something else now. That's how much they didn't want to give Spice that crown. And then they kept on going at her. That's why I said the journey is not easy. And our people, they crucify you and crucify you and crucify you. And if you survive the crucifixion, then they start to like you and adore you. And now them want to support you and admire you. You know what I'm saying? But for these people, I've been there from they were no nobodies. They were struggling till now. So I've seen the journey. And I'm telling you that you can do the same thing in your life. I take my examples from real people who do it real in real life. Not that bunch of Jesus will provide and God will be there. I even tell my Christian friends, like, you're leaving behind Bible verses and words for your children. And that's all you're passing along. It not gonna help them. I'm sorry, but it not help them. I never see a hungry youth near my Bible verse and say belly full yet. I never see JPS come cut off light and you slide them 2 Bible verse and them say, all right, it's all paid yet. You understand? So at the end of the game, it's about amassing some level of wealth, because that's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to. If you don't think so, then that's on you. You see? But I bet you when them bills due, you wish and hope you have enough money, and you hope you have excess money, so after you done pay the bills, you can have little fun, don't it? And save little of it, don't it? And without that, life is stressful. So let's be real. Let's be real, and let's deal with reality, and let's live in reality. Stop all this fantasy stuff. Now give them 2 of them flowers while they're alive. All right, so big up to Spice and big up to Vybz Kartel for sure, every time. Now, on to JAH, which is our final one. So, the brother JAH is still locked up in Amsterdam. He is still locked up in Amsterdam. The picture I have, let me see, I'm going to pull it up. JAH arrested and charged in Amsterdam. Hour today. Is it hour today? Hour today. Okay, boom. So when this first happened, because it happened in Europe, right? So for those of you who don't know, JAH again is in problems. Very popular Jamaican artist across the world for his music. My wife was in here and she says, dancehall musicians aren't for your children, nor can you blame a whole category of people on one person music. And that's factual. That's factual. But you know what? That's what lazy parents do. You fail to parent your own children. You keep putting them in front of the damn tablet and in front of the TV. And so you can sit there and scroll on social media all day and be lazy and not interact with your kids. And when you hear your little daughter say, skin out me boom boom, on the body and a wine and a boom boom, you want to thump out her back. But are you? And you should you should be the parent. You should be the one censoring what's played in your household. You should be the one censoring what your children should be exposed to. You should be the one letting your children know that's not cool to say as they grow older. You can't say that outside the house. Say it in the house is cool, because I won't be a hypocrite. I say it too, but put it in context and understand how it's said. You know what I'm saying? But y'all walk around with this, don't do what I do, just do what I say. And they pick them these two middle finger and you, man, move on where? Because you're a hypocritical parent. Me hear you mommy when you backstab your friend them. Girl, me say the girl Angie dirty say, oh thinking girl she take more man, more meal than letterbox. Then girl there, and then our phone ring and Angie, girl, Angie, how you doing? Baby girl, you know, say I gotta live long cause I was just talking about you, you know. Yeah, so how's everything? And so you pick them see. So when them not have no respect for you, it's because of how you living. But yeah, it's easier to blame famous people. Anyway, like them supposed to raise your children and instill morals and values in your kids. That's not their responsibility. An entertainer's responsibility is to entertain, right? And they cater to a certain audience. If your child wants to be a part of that certain audience, when it's an adult audience, then there's something there that you should have checked. Moving right along, JAH, for those of y'all who don't know, stab up a brother in the Netherlands. And when I first heard the story, I thought, damn, him go over there go stab up one white boy, him for sure done. Because they're not going to play with him. But when I saw and found out who it was, it kind of struck different to me like, this is how we love each other. So this is the brother where JAH actually stabbed up. See me? That's the brother. And it wasn't from what I'm hearing from credible source, it wasn't joke you a little bit, stop playing with me. No, stab out the man belly. The man had to go through surgery, and thankfully he came out of surgery okay. Reggae artist JAH arrested and charged on Saturday, October 2nd in the Netherlands for allegedly stabbing promoter Ricardo Blake in Amsterdam. Reports are that the 42-year-old singer allegedly attacked Blake, who goes by the name of Papa, stabbing him in the abdomen. Cure, whose real name is Sikatori Alcock, was subsequently arrested and charged with assault and wounding. After the brother went through his surgery, he went and filed an official report and pressed charges, and that's when they went and got JAH. Because the brother said, me now make that one slide. He later filed an official police report pressing charges against Cure, and then JAH was brought into custody. There's no word yet on what exactly it was. But to give you an idea of who this brother is, Wayne Stabber, see, he is the founder of what's called Roots Vybz Entertainment, which is based in the Netherlands, where the company specializes in music promotion, production, artist management, tour management, and events management, and has been the spearhead of many large events, many large concerts, where our artists, if they're not being booked anywhere else, can look forward to being booked there and go pick up a paycheck in whatever money them use, which I'm sure is more than Jamaican money. See, the company is said to play a crucial role in promoting reggae, dancehall, and Afrobeats music in the Netherlands. For the past 15 years, Roots Vybz has worked with international artists, booking them, flying them in, such as Sizzla Kalonji, Morgan Heritage, Egyptian, Conscience, Buju Banton, Sarani, Vybz Kartel, Beenie Man, JAH being one of the most recent ones added to the roster. JAH was in Amsterdam for a live performance at the Melweg Avenue. A show was promoted by Roots Vybz Entertainment. We don't know if money not share right, or promotions didn't go properly, or whatever the case was. Kai, come. Come, Papa. I can hear Kai when he wake up. He's a man who wake up and if him don't get him juice, him just ball out loud. Everybody alerted. So I have his juice and his tablet ready for, see, and he comes in and he goes right to it. You got your juice? I love you. And he went right back to lay down. So yes, so is a progressive, productive brother who's very instrumental on actually spreading our culture overseas. See, an independent entrepreneur who took something and turned it into something greater. And I said to myself when I finally saw who it was that he did this to, because I've been searching for a picture of who the person was. Because I told myself, is Europe, must be a white person. Because there are a lot of Europeans that own reggae things in Europe. Me saying brave. They're gonna kill him over there. But when I saw who it was, it kind of lets me know like that's how we are. You know? Like we're when we're dealing with those others, it's yes sir and thank you and I appreciate you very much, and anything bad we have to say, we say it behind their back, not to their face, kind of thing. And when the contract's not right or when the product they're giving you is not right and all these other things for your money, you chalk it up as a loss and you keep going. See? When we come to our own, hey boy, me kill you, you know. Me top out your belly around here, you know. Me bust gunshot in your face, you know. That's how we that's how we deal with our own. Soon as white man walk in the door, that's a coming. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How you doing? May I help you? Thank you. We are like the most well-behaved and I'm for a Rasta youth now who say a righteousness and love him and deal with. I don't want to kick Jackie while he's down. I'm not in the business of kicking brothers and sisters while they're down. But when you do foolishness, we have to talk about the foolishness and how it relates on a broader level. See, for somebody who represents Rasta, more and more right now, Rasta, gangster, badman, gangsteras. What is your angle? I gave him a pass when people came out years ago and were putting out pictures of him, and I even made fun of him, like the jeans them the tight sock on, like and I tried to say stuff like, wow, I remember one time gone, man wouldn't wear them thing there. Cause I come from the era where Capleton come back and after me left from Jamaica go a foreign pantour, preaching, teaching the people for sure. And him talk about how when him come back, the woman and the man them are dressed in the same clothes and you can't differentiate who is from who because the man them pants tight and look like it paint on. People cuss me. They cuss me and say, oh yeah, watch the man pants. A Batman watch man pants, dog. Stick to the man music. But all I was saying was, if you're dealing with righteousness and you're dealing with upliftment and love and everything, then stay upon the part then. However, I left room and respected the fact that it was into fashion. I said, maybe have something here. He might come out with his own clothing line. And it end up being a big deal. I don't ever knock people angles. You know what I'm saying? And I would be a hypocrite because I see other people do it and I support them and they're not our people. So why not support your own? But when he started going overboard with you see my shoes, them 7 pair of them I have upstairs. This one right here is the Louis Vuitton. See? One time I wear it. Now one, yeah, 2,400. Not Jamaican dollars, 2,400 US dollars. See that? The next one, yeah, 3,600. Yo, I have so much of them, I don't even have time for wear them and things. So them just stay up there dry rotten. So here one, I go get some youth, some little ghetto youth, them shoes that for go and wear. And I was like, man, this is too much vanity for Rasta. This is too much vanity for Rasta. But, it is what it is. Some people get sidetracked and caught up. A lot of people have been saying that Jackie needed help because you don't just do almost a decade in prison and then get out and you just flip back to normal. it's gonna take you at least the amount of years you did behind them bars, plus some, to get back to healing. Because things go on behind prison walls that a lot of people don't want to talk about. You know, every man tell you about, yeah, they be raping niggas back there. But then I tell us that nobody touch them though. Everybody tell the same story. Yes, things go on behind bars, but none of it happened to me. Now, we ain't no fool. I mean, I say I rape him, get raped behind bars. But I'm saying, to live in a place and be in constant survival mode like that for that long, it wouldn't be surprising to say the brother needs some help. Now, I don't study him that closely. I follow the music. He's a good singer. He's a good songwriter. But then there was that girl that came out and she said when she write her songs, she write her songs from a spiritual place. The message is delivered to her through the songs. And she wrote that song and she gave it to Jacure, and Jacure was supposed to pay her for it. And then take the song, license the song, sell the song, release it on his album, and didn't give her no money fee. And remember that girl there? And she said, your downfall is coming because this is something spiritual. This is not about these worldly things. And I thought that you were that kind of a person. And I ignored what everybody else was telling me. But now me I see it for myself. See? So sometimes you do some righteous people some wrongs, you know, and then you get whipped severely. I don't know what kind of whipping. What, Papa? Is it?
No, it's the same time.
Ah, I'm coming, okay? You want to come say hi? Come say hi.
Oh, it's a pumpkin.
It's a pumpkin? Come say hi, Papa. Miranda start doing things, so it's time for me to end this. But somebody say, you know, this is not Jamaica. The Netherlands is not Jamaica. It's not where you stab up a boy and then you get bail. And you're out on bail for the next 2-3 years before your court case goes before a judge. And in the meantime, you have time to bribe witnesses and disappear who disappear and all that. This is not Jamaica. So, yes, he is Duchess Dark Goddess. SouFLoTV at gmail.com. This is not Jamaica. So he's caught up in a situation right now. Our brother Jacure is caught up in a situation right now. And let's see how this one turn out. I don't think it's going to turn out good for him. I know for sure that if he does time, then the Netherlands will be done with him. And if the Netherlands is done with him, then Europe itself will be done with him. He's already banned from certain places in the world and still was blessed with the opportunity to be able to travel to other places where he could still show off, where he could still own luxury vehicles and live in exclusive places and have experiences that most of us dream about, live like a star. He was still blessed with that. But this one thing that happened right here, right now, this could very much be the end of it. Because given what he was accused of before and did time for before, rape and attempted robbery, he was already banned from other places. He was never going to go get into other places. So now with this, all the other places that he actually had access to could very well be taken away from him. And you know, doing shows in Jamaica, I don't know if that can sustain those lifestyles. I don't know if that can sustain those lifestyles. Mr. Jacure roll out some Mercedes Benz at Jamaica, and he was like, I'm the only one on the island with this right here. And then he had another one flown in, and he was like, y'all never seen this one yet. You know, red guts and something up on the outside, and get up all his rich friends and everybody back to back drive out there, luxury vehicles and stuff. I don't think doing shows in Jamaica alone can maintain that kind of lifestyle. So it was an opportunity that was created for him, which In all sense, you should have been thankful for. This is some vloggers, which is what they do nowadays. And, you know, I run my thing off credibility. So I'm not going to come tell you about, yes, me have the inside story. Them did a fight over 500 euros. And I've seen that story going around. Somebody actually took it and put it in my comment section. We don't know the true story yet. Because Papa, which is the brother who himself, has not revealed what the true cause of that is. So we hope to hear from people like Papa. We'll reach out, and if they reach out back, they reach out back. But we hope to hear from people like Papa what actually took place, why it ended up that way, why two Rasta brethren couldn't work things out. It's a blight on the culture, and I think it's the end of JAH as far as touring and everything goes. But again, good lawyers, some people might take back their word, and you know, all kind of things happen behind the scene. So we'll see how it goes. Wish JAH all the best, same way. Now kick him while he's down, but it don't look good. Not true? All right. Maybe they're leased or he's in big debt on them. Just saying. Well, if you lease them and then park up at your yard every day, you must have the money to maintain them. Because lease means you're paying. Yeah, lucky is not a murder, Citizen Blue, but here's the thing. It could have been a murder. It could have been a murder. So wounding with intent, attempted murder, those charges. You don't just stab out a man belly to where he needs surgery, and then the courts just call it accidental anything. Prosecutors usually go for those kind of charges. You could have killed the person. So we're going to go for the attempted murder. Nobody stabs somebody just to, oh, I'm just going to poke you a little. When people stab people, it's usually rage behind it, and it's usually they're trying to take a life or something, out of anger or whatever. So wounding with intent, malicious wounding with a weapon, attempted murder, all those charges. Dreadlocks don't make them Rasta, brethren. Lulu Ridges, you're absolutely right. Dreadlocks don't make them Rasta, but they profess to be Rastas, and me can't tell them different. Understand? Just like when a man professes to be a Christian, I can't tell him different. I can't say, you can't be Christian, brother. I'm see you at the bar. I saw you making it rain when Shorty was busting it wide open in the G-string. You were in the club with us. He can look at me and say, well, God is still working on me and I'm a work in progress. The Lord understands my weaknesses, and that's one of them, and I'm trying really hard to get past that as well. You know what I say? It's not up to me to say who is Rasta and who is not Rasta. Big up to Morgan Heritage. Them say you don't have to dread to be Rasta. This is not a dreadlock thing. Divine conception of the heart. Not sure? But I saw I go. Enough man will have the big locks and the big dreadlocks and them. That's some dirty people, them, you know. I've learned that throughout my life. That is some dirty people them with one big head of dirty hair on them. I've learned that. And some of the most articulate people who carry Rasta teachings and beliefs and, you know, customs and whatever, them don't have no locks. Them clean shaven, not even little hair upon them face or nothing. So it ain't really about your hair. It's more about who you really are and your daily works that you put out, your energy what you put out into the universe, and your deeds that you do on a daily basis. Not true? Right, that's all. Or ask for weed. Him need help. Him have a lot of demons to fight. I would say so. I would say so. Quite a few things happened leading up to this. And I didn't cover any of them because I just didn't want to fling the brother up under the bus. But y'all heard the video. Y'all cover enough channels to know. You've heard the voice notes, the accusations, the girls that were locked in and held and all these things, and them catching on voice note They tell the girl say more kill her and tab out her blood clot and all these things. All those things. All this was leading up to this. This is just another incident. Shout out to Foota Hype. They say Foota Hype did I tell him, say, brother, you need help. I wish you could just go away from all this and get you some help because you really need some help. So for them to be saying that, they know these people more than I do. Yeah. So our brother, still, regardless, just like your child, when your child does something bad, doesn't make them not your child anymore. It's still your child. Them just do some bad things. So if you need help, then we're hoping that he get all the help he needs. I hate, and I use the word hate. I don't just fling out the word hate. Not true, D-Mac. I don't just fling out the word hate, but I hate to see real talent wasted and to see brothers and sisters go up and then fall from grace because of arrogance or because they needed help, but them have too many yes people around them, what preventing them from getting the help that they need. Right? Omega Dreads Gaming Channel says, I got dreads because I had twisty curls and just got lazy. Kimberly Rose says, at Omega Dreads Gaming Channel, you ain't lying. All right. And who is this? Lily of the Valley says, you prove you are a Rasta by the liberty you live. 100% not slack mind and behavior, which is absolutely true. Just like how you prove you're a Christian by doing Christ-like things, right? And living Christ-like. But we leave room for error because a man is still just a man. A woman is still just a woman, and we make mistakes. We make mistakes. Some of us make bigger mistakes than others. Doesn't take away from the fact that we're trying to be. We're just not there yet. Not everybody has the same level of self-control. Not everybody has the same level of maturity or hit the same level of maturity at the same time. Not everybody is up and running at the same time. Some lost in the wilderness for a long time before they really discover, like, okay, I have to change these things about myself. You know, I've been doing the same thing over and over for how long? All it has ever brought me is trouble and more trouble. I'm tired of it now. Some people get to that level quick, and others, it takes literally a whole lifetime of mistakes to get there. Doesn't mean they weren't trying to get there. They were trying. They just don't have what those others had or didn't realize at the same time others did. So we leave room for mistake. I know my belly cut out, so it's easy to say me leave room for mistake. But if you dig out my belly like that though, me not forgive. See? I send you home to somebody who they say forgive. And that's my plan for you. But I don't know how the brother there gonna take it. But as you can see, the brother is a businessman. Because guess what? If that brother was a gangster, right? This is what he would do. If he was a true gangster, what he would do is Jack Cure would have get done off over there. So we would just get a story that says reggae singer Jack Cure found in hotel room dead or something like that. Because the brother could have easily said, no, I'm not pressing no charges. I'm going to handle this another way. I know that's where I'm come from. So it's easy to catch him, especially if I'm the one that booked you to come here. See? So easy to catch him. But the man said, I have an honest business that's reputable, that's been going for a long time, that's well respected. His image is known in the Netherlands. He's well respected on the circuit. So he's dealing with it with the law. So what I'm going to do is, after the surgery, them cut out your belly. You know, when you stab people in them belly, you know, they don't know what you hit. So they have to really open you up. Doctor have to go in there to find out if did he nicks a piece of the liver or the kidney or this or that or whatever. They have to go in there to make sure everything is all right, find what's not all right and patch it up on these things. See? So after that, he said, I'm going to file an official report and tell them exactly who did it and how we got to this point. And he did that, and I saw Jack Cure get locked up. You see? So he could have been a gangster about it. And make we hear one of them story there about Cure. But he didn't. So that's to show you he himself is not dealing with nothing on no gangster thing. The brother deal with reggae music and the promotion of reggae music and Irie vibes and these things. But that's how I go. Shanti High, I live Ras. And maybe more out that we don't know. This is 2021 and people are handling things in the courts. Boy, where we come from, a lot of things don't get handled in the courts, Kimberly. That's why we have over 1,000 and something murders in the 9th month of the year, because we don't handle things in our courts. It's common, typical, commonplace for us to not handle things in courts. A lot of us, especially when you come from a place where the courts don't really serve justice. Yeah. So you decide like, oh no, that's not justice for me. I take justice by my own hands. I'm gonna execute judgment and justice. And that's a lot of what happens in Jamaica. Reprisal killings make up majority of the killings that happen in Jamaica. Is you did something to me and I couldn't catch you, so I'm gonna catch somebody that's close to you. Can't catch Quaco, catch him shot. Or you did something to me, so I'm gonna do back something to you. No court needed. No police needed, no law needed. That's it. So I'm glad he didn't take it that way. And Cure will live to fight another day, even though he might have to fight some time in our prison. But I don't know if y'all seen the prisons over there in the Netherlands. You know, them look like they have like, some of them look like hotels. Really. So maybe him just need a chill out. Maybe things are getting to him, you know, the road get hectic, life get hectic. Maybe he just need a chill out. He has a beautiful little daughter though, who he is really close to, from what I can tell. Coming in at people in life, so I don't know. Some people just go grab their kids for photo opportunities and then post them on social media like on daddy duty, and that's the first time that kid has seen you in months and won't see you again for a long time. See? So I don't know if I'm one of them there, but from what I can tell, he's close to his daughter. So she is growing, so and she is very intelligent. So I'm sure she is looking at all of this right now. I'm sure she's worried about. I'm sure she's trying to understand what the hell they said my daddy did. What I don't see my daddy like that kind of stuff, you know. And now she's missing her dad, and she wants her daddy to come back around again, and all these things. You created a beautiful life for your sister, for your daughter. Sorry, regardless of the obstacles that you had to endure and go through, over, under, however you got around it before. To be blessed, that's truly blessed. That conviction alone on his first charges that he did time in Jamaica for, a lot of people don't come back from that. To be truly blessed, to come back from that and still can jump on plane and still can brag, so your shoes them cost $2,500, $3,600 US, and still can drive luxury cars that most of us still can't afford, and still can own things, real estate, this, that, still can travel to many other exotic spots in the world. The last time I seen him, he was in Dubai, and he had a whole presidential suite for his birthday. And the way how they served him in there was like truly fitting for a king. And his message under that was, you live one life, live your life. And I'm like, man, look at this. To see where he was coming from and to look at that. But then to see him fall again, that's heartbreaking, bro. That's disappointing as ever. It is. It is. So we're gonna leave this one right there. So this morning, right? Walk straight, my people. Be good. Put good energy out into the universe and focus on generational wealth and paying it forward. And stop with the YOLO and your Bible verses and all that. Go and read the Bible, you know, if you're a Bible person and all these things. But understand that passing along more than just that. And mainly, another way that you can is get some life insurance. Just simply start there. Get some life insurance. Get you a life insurance policy and a will. I know our community, we need to talk about that in a whole other video, but I know our community is not into, because as soon as you say will, they're like, no, but that's all like not dead soon, so we don't want to do it. But the reality is we all go, Kai, at your time. I understand. Give me 1 minute. I'm closing up. Okay? The reality is you go and you don't know when you're going. Most of us don't know when we're gonna go. So get your affairs in order, fix up yourself, and them kind of thing. That's it. One love, people. I'll talk to you later. Kind of give me a break. See me? Because you don't want to come up here and say hi. Let me show you. I just have to see all your comments right here and all that. He's down there. Kai, look, say hi. Him now say hi. Him coming here. Him go over there, so in I'm like a corner, doing thing, and then there at the door now. I'm like, beer nice, which means end it, daddy. So I'm ending it right here. All right. One love, people. Catch you tomorrow morning right here on Morning Thoughts. Have a wonderful day. And stay positive. All right. Stay positive throughout the day and have a wonderful day. Today is, what's today? I don't even know. Today is Tuesday. I was gonna say happy hump day. I'm out. Peace. You ready, Papa?